Are traditional coaching methods damaging your athletes' chances of success? Well, disturbing trends show traditional coaching doesn't deliver, and the truth behind what great coaches get right. Hello, I'm Robert Chesney, a former NBA sportscaster and Division I college athlete. In the next few minutes, I'd like to share some valuable information on how you can achieve more success and satisfaction from coaching at every level of athletics. The source comes from a major research project conducted with coaches and athletes from around the world. This research project identifies the critical nature of a coach's role, which you will learn goes far beyond their one-loss record. We'll look at how coaches impact the lives of literally millions of young people from all walks of life, and how both an athlete's interest and success in sport is largely determined by the type of coach they have. We cover the major challenges for coaches and the impact of the traditionally technically focused coaching has. And most importantly, with lessons learned from outstanding coaches, we share with you what great coaches get right. This is a preview version, just to give you an introduction to the content of the research, and assuming you find value in the information, we'll invite you to benefit from more of the material. As we define the future generations and coaches, we find that a coach's role is so critical. I mean, look at the facts. 36 million, or 70% of American children between the ages of 6 and 17 have participated in at least one team sport. 26 million, or nearly 50%, have played on an organized team. And 3.5 million coaches in the United States are responsible for these 26 million young people. In an Australian government paper, an article, Australian Sport, Emerging Challenges and New Directions, wrote, the government would also like to encourage greater recognition of the importance of coaches. Recognition that coaches are role models and mentors needs to be enhanced. It's often the case that a junior athlete commitment and enthusiasm for a sport is based almost entirely on the quality of their coach. In many ways, Australia's future sporting success is up to our coaches and training officials. Coaching really impacts decisions. According to the American Football Coaches Association Players Survey, 90% of players stated that the coaching staff was very important in determining which college to attend. You have to really believe in your coach. That emotional connection is also felt by many Jamaican athletes. 24-year-old Curtis Riddell, who's trained by Glenn Mills, better known as Usain Bolt's coach, describes Mills as a father figure to him. You have to believe in your coach, he said. My coach is the backbone of my training. He gives me my game plan, and he guides me regarding what to do and what not to do. He is a very important part of my life. A skills focus really neglects key challenges. Let's talk about these challenges. According to a survey, coaches named their top 3 challenges as being first, 50% understanding their athlete's individual personality, 46% balancing personal life, managing sport, career, and home, and 31% managing relationships within team dynamics. Is there any wonder then? According to a questionnaire taken by 232 principals, they reported that 104 coaches were dismissed during their tenure. According to the results, the primary reasons for the firings was poor relationships between the coach and the players. Weak relationships destroy dreams. That's not all they destroy. They also destroy opportunity. Nearly 9,000 female student athletes participated in the Barriers 2007 and 8 NCAA study. These participants were asked why a career in college athletics was not in your future, and 23% stated poor relationships with their coach. 19% stated poor relationship with the coach before college. Clearly, poor communication causes breakdowns. According to a study in which high-level teenage athletes who had suffered from burnout were interviewed, Poor communications was the leading factor of burnout, which created a perceived low level of personal control over the situation in which they trained. Poor communication left them feeling stressed out and unable to cope. Sporting environments marked by poor communication led to perceptions of a controlling and pressuring structure. We understand that effective communication can be very difficult, but as important research suggests, there is no single element of the coaching process that is more important than communication. And being an effective communicator is a distinguishing characteristic of expert coaches. Despite this, little time is devoted to helping coaches become better communicators. And we learned that you get very little help in this area. Successful coaches are relationship focused. According to a survey, the top 3 characteristics of a phenomenal coach are, first of all, 61% of the survey stated that the coach focuses on their athletes as a whole person. 55% stated strong communication skills and the ability to teach. And 33% stated that they were persistent in looking for new ways, techniques, and tools to improve performance. Let's look at the characteristics of an expert coach. This is some research by Bloom and Salmela that's identified the personal characteristics of expert team coaches. Here's some of the attributes. They have a persistent quest for growth and learning. They have a strong work ethic, effective communication, and an emphasis on the athletes. They develop a personal coaching style, and they create fun training and good teaching ability. So build strong relationships. Business focuses on the heart and mind of its workers. In business, they measure engagement as the degree a worker's heart and mind is committed to their role, leader, and company. Studies on the U.S. job market estimate that $300 billion is lost by actively disengaged workers. Research shows an engaged worker will deliver an additional 30% of discretionary effort. So let's apply engagement to sport. In sport, forget about 30% extra effort from your engaged athletes and consider what difference just 1% would make to your athletes or team's performance. I know the value of 1%. I've lost gold medals by less than 0.5%. So says Bo Hansen. Coaches must engage their athletes, win their hearts and minds. In business, it might have a financial cost, but in sport, it can cost what money doesn't buy. So no matter how much you know as a coach, the information is only half of the story. Communicating effectively, getting your message across is the key to getting the most out of your athletes. To be an effective coach, you need to know your athletes well, which can be difficult and it can take time. You need to find out the best way to communicate with your athletes, what's most likely to work, and what will get the results that we all want. That's a quote from Coach Gary Lineau, Olympian and 3-time world champion. Well, I trust that this preview has opened your eyes to the benefits of learning more from this major research effort. If so, just click on the link below and we'll make a more in-depth version available to you. Again, as a former collegiate basketball player and sportscaster, I've seen and played with the good, the bad, and the ugly in terms of coaches and players. I can assure you that your interest in taking your career to the next level is an important step in your personal and professional development. Congratulations and my best wishes on your success. Please click on the link below. Believe me, you'll be very glad you did.